Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, Evan Teak of Whipping Like Always. This is the man who's getting revived after nearly 25 years off the air, Noah Bailey.
Oh boy.
So Disney had their Disney Plus Day announcement live stream thing. I don't know exactly how all the information got presented, but a lot of information got presented from Disney. And we're going to start right off the top with X-Men, the animated series, being revived of all things. Not a brand new X-Men show. It is specifically the 90s X-Men show coming back.
With the killer intro to boot, of course. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Literally, I don't think anyone would have predicted this.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't think anyone's like, no. I think everyone's like, sure. Like, I don't know. Maybe I can't speak for everyone. I'm kind of like, sure. Like, yeah. I mean, this is one of those like classic 90s cartoon, like Spider-Man, Batman, the animated series, all those kind of. This is one of those very beloved superhero 90s like embodiment of Saturday morning cartoon kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of like, if they go about this with the same care and love that it had originally, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, it's so weird for so many reasons, because like a year ago, randomly on Disney Plus, these unique X-Men icons became profile picture options.
Yep.
And along with that, a rumor of a new X-Men show for Disney Plus was like being rumored, though we all assumed, okay, they're making something for some new animated X-Men show, but I'm assuming that this X-Men 97, as they're calling it, will just keep at least the similar, obviously upscaled to modern times art style from the 90s. So I don't know what those are for. And also it I think the main reason why they're doing specifically X-Men 97 is because Disney has, or Marvel has, broken into animation with What If, and now and a couple other shows sprinkled in there announced that day. They wanted to make an X-Men thing that was distinct from the MCU,
right?
Because if they just made a new X-Men thing, they could they didn't want it to be like, oh yeah, this is new X-Men, but it's not actually the MCU. But then when an X-Men come into the MCU, that might be confusing. But they didn't want to make X-Men yet. So they instead were like, well, we just do more classic X-Men stuff. Like, why not?
Yeah. And then maybe that'll be, the way to like reacquaint audiences with the X-Men before. Oh, guess who's coming after the multiverse does something, or so.
Yeah.
Sure.
It is a little weird to me that I haven't watched the entirety of X-Men animated series. I think I'm like a third of the way through what they have out. It's a show that I kind of come back to every now and again, but I'll probably get through it all eventually. But from what I understand, didn't they get through pretty much every major X-Men beat?
Yeah, I mean, they went through Apocalypse, obviously Magneto, and all that stuff. So
as far as Future Past,
yeah. So I mean, as far as a lot of the big stuff, they did do a lot. But I mean, like I said, it has been 25 plus years. So I mean, maybe they can, maybe revisit in terms of picking up where it left off, maybe or maybe just kind of go in a new direction. Maybe some stories that have happened in the last couple of years that have not been as prevalent back then have maybe gained some more traction, or I'm not really sure. You gotta
introduce some newer X-Men, possibly I know the New Mutants as a movie was bad, but essentially having those characters in there. Deadpool is technically an X-Men, so
Yeah.
You know, like him, Domino, and other people from that universe could come in.
Mhm.
House of M, I think, was a thing since the 90s. Wasn't House of M like a early 2000s thing?
Maybe. I actually don't know. So that's a great question. Let's see. House of M. Oh, 2005.
Okay. Yeah, so they could do something with
You are
that.
correct.
Like,
So yeah, there you go.
yeah,
Solid plot.
I don't even think Scarlet Witch or Quicksilver were
Right.
in the show at all, were they?
I don't. I think they were a little. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really remember. It's been.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Right.
But
I assume I'm just going to assume that the climax of the X-Men show was like the Dark Phoenix saga, or at least the Dark Phoenix saga happened at some point in
yeah.
the show. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like there's also potential of, now that Disney has the rights to all of Marvel, they can, like, other Marvel characters can cameo, because I know Captain Marvel had one cameo in Rogue Solar Powers and stuff, and they had
Mhm.
one crossover with the Iron Man TV show, but like they can,
Yeah. And the Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man. The Spider-Man show had a crossover with the X-Men. I don't know if Spider-Man was in any X-Men episodes, but X-Men were in some Spider-Man episodes. But
okay,
I don't know how
yeah,
that
just like,
went over. But yeah, maybe
you know,
they can bring that back. Maybe they give it a Spider-Man. Well, actually, we'll get there. But
yeah. So that's just it. It feels like a very odd choice, but in a way, I think this is like kind of the best option for Disney as far as making a X-Men cartoon, especially since that show had such a banger theme song. Like,
like,
any opportunity to reuse that theme song, why not?
yeah,
And in a way, I, as much as I kind of think that the X-Men animated, like, the animation is kind of dated, I kind of want them to, like, kind of try their best to keep that same kind of stilted, like, framey action that the original show had. Because, like, it is a 90s cartoon, so it's not going to look like as good as modern stuff, but like in a way, I kind of wanted to try to keep that same feel if they can. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I think they will too. And I've heard a lot of the main voice cast is coming back, which is big because especially certain characters. Like, I know, like, for me, like, Rogue's voice was very distinctive there. Like, kind of gave that vibe because it was like, that like southern country thing. Dude, yeah, like, it's gonna be really cool. Like, I think that along with kind of, yeah, they try to touch it up for the time, but like still, like, kind of keep it 90s looking. I think that'll really, oh man, dude, this is gonna be amazing. I know my brother is gonna be super excited. I don't think he's heard yet. He loves this thing.
Yeah, it's coming out in 2023, so we have a little bit of time to wait, but it's just it is something really cool that is go ahead and announce and look forward to in the kind of near, but also seems so far away future. Yeah, kind of going along with that, they also announced a Spider-Man animated show that will actually be MCU canon, called Spider-Man Freshman Year, which will be that coveted MCU Spider-Man origin story that everyone who complains that Spider-Man doesn't talk about Uncle Ben enough has been wanting.
I mean, that's kind of fair. I think the whole argument of that is like, yes, Uncle Ben is a ginormous part of Spider-Man's whole character, but it's also, I think, because we rebooted Spider-Man for the third time, and I think it was 15, 16 years at the time.
It was 10 years between Spider-Man 3 and Homecoming. And Spider-Man 3 also redid, because since Sandman apparently killed Uncle Ben, sure, why not?
Yeah.
There was only 10 years between doing it twice. so they just didn't need to do that again.
Right, because it was kind of like everyone who knows Spider-Man knows the whole Uncle Ben thing. So it was, and I think that and it worked for the MCU, especially because it wasn't even like, it wasn't that. I guess it wasn't as needed, especially like when they picked him up out of Civil War. It was like if they had to stop the movie to have Uncle Ben scene, it would have felt very pacing poor. But yeah, but I mean, sure, because like we'll see how this Spider-Man reacts to it. We'll see how that, and also just like I think the part that I personally kind of miss is I always love the part where Peter like starts adjusting to his powers, like when he first gets them, because they kind of did that with the suit, that stuff. It's like instant kill, no, which was great, but like it's not the same as when like like with McGuire with the like with the weird web thing, he can't figure out what to do, and then he's like, oh yeah, I got it, slams into a building, and like like those kind of things. I think that's very Spider-Man-esque. That's a very classic for every Spider-Man to have that. So I think that stuff like that's going to be interesting, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's animated, so not that we haven't seen a million animated Spider-Man shows, but I mean, some have been amazing, some have been forgettable. So we'll see where
the most recent one was like 2017 Disney XD one was bad. It was just bad.
Wait, is that the like Ultimate Spider-Man, or is that?
I think it's just called Marvel Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right. There was another one. That's right.
Yes, Ultimate Spider-Man is also not very good.
No, I
watched 5 episodes and dipped.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was the one that was kind of like, I forgot. There's another one. Now that one I heard was like garbage. So yeah. So lately they had some good ways. Like they had some good ones, but they also had some not so great ones. So it really depends. Like,
but like that now that Disney produced animated Spider-Man and rebooting a classic Marvel show, people are at least going to be speculating, hey, can you and Sony just like make more spectacular Spider-Man, please?
Bro, right? They would. The fans would love it, but they wouldn't do it because they're like,
why not?
We're going to make our
Josh
own.
Keaton is perfect as Spider-Man. He's perfect. So perfect that even in Young Justice, Black Spider is voiced by Spider-Man. Like,
so funny. Which is so weird to me, because like they basically made Black Spider like evil Spider-Man, which is kind of great. But like
in the first episode of Young Justice, he's clipping and just is Spider-Man, but in a different suit.
But it's weird because Black Spider was never like that until like Young Justice. And they're like, you know what? Why not? Like, he's funny, so it's weird. But yeah, it's like basically, this. I mean, like again, arguably the best Spider-Man show, and it just kind of just got dropped. And it was just like, are you kidding? Like the show
or Ultimate Spider-Man, which is trash.
I know. Like, no, like it was so well done. Like you perfectly got, like you felt all the times where it was like, oh my gosh, like these situations. But it's also big stuff where Spider-Man wins the battle but loses the war. Oh, Spider-Man does the right thing as a hero, but the bad thing is Peter. Like you actually saw multiple times where him doing the right thing as one of his aliases and to the wrong thing as another, an actual the real problem to having the duality. And not like just like serious issues. Like he had money issues. Like it was like real problems, like friends issues. Harry was like not on drugs, but I mean on the kind of like on the Goblin stuff, which is a very notable storyline. There's like, I loved how they did Eddie Brock. It wasn't just some guy at the Bugle. It was actually one of his buddies. Like it was really well done. And like him, like his jealousy made way more sense than just, he's better than me. Like it was a legit, like, this guy ruined my life, low key. So like, of course I have reason to get back. It was just like,
and Steve Bloom as Green Goblin, perfect. Oh my goodness.
The Green. Okay. I am on record that the Green Goblin is my favorite Marvel villain for anything. I don't even care. I don't care if it's Willem Dafoe. I don't care if it's. I don't even know who voiced the '90s Green Goblin. I just remember
Because Mark Hamill was Hobgoblin, right?
Right. But
Yeah.
I don't remember which one's the Green Goblin. I don't know who it is, but he shaped my childhood as a villain. Ever since I saw that, I love the Green Goblin. But no, the Green Goblin in this show is brilliant because it's not just a crazy guy. He's genius. Like, I know Spider-Man. I know, you and I both know, Norman Osborn is always the Green Goblin. Yep. I legitimately was like, wait a minute. If it's not Norman, then who is? Like, I was convinced it was not Norman Osborn. I remember watching that on a Saturday morning and being like, okay, I know how this ends, and I don't even know how this ends. That makes no sense. Like, they did it so well. And like, I don't know if it was just the kid in me, but even when I rewatched it, I'm like, no, that's really convincing. Like, the whole, like, they did so well. And how Norman was just like, it was cool because like it just did a great job. The villains were like Tombstone was a boss too. Like, there were some great villains. There were like Spider-Man. Spider-Man was hilarious also, which is always a big help because whenever Spider-Man's really funny, it just makes it way more entertaining.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know. And I know I'm just praising this show that's probably never coming back. But if you've never, for anyone who hasn't seen The Spectacular Spider-Man, if you like superheroes, you will love this show, and then you will agree, why did this get canceled? But
yeah, and it's still not even on Disney Plus. Like, I don't even know where.
Is it anywhere? How dare they?
Let's find out. Spectacular Spider-Man.
Where is it? It is nowhere for free, apparently, which means
that's cool.
Yeah, well, it's it's somewhere, I'm sure, but
oh yeah.
I mean, it's animated, it's out there, but you gotta
1, 2, 3 movies, Kiss Anime, etc.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. It's out there, but yeah.
I just wish it were free on the service that I actually have, but
yep. But oh well. I don't know. If now they brought that back, I think I would like. Also, okay. Also, have you seen all the '90s Spider-Man, like the original? Not the original, but like the '90s.
It's a show that I've been meaning to like get into. I definitely have watched I watched some, but not a lot of it. But I've watched some.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the more I think about it, it kind of does end on like, it's a good ending, but it also kind of has a cliffhanger. Like, it definitely could have more. And I'm like, if they brought that back, can they bring back this one too? Because I would love to see more.
I mean, they clearly can.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's why I really like animation, because like, not that like, obviously we have things like The Mandalorian bringing back old Star Wars people, and obviously Kenobi, stuff like that, and like, but with live action you have such limited availability to bring stuff back because people could, they age a lot, their voices don't look the same, or they might be busy with something else or whatever, and it doesn't work as much. Whereas animation, if you get the voices, you can, everything else you can just put together. Like, you need the voices, and even then, a couple voice, as long as it's not like the main character, a couple side voices mixing up can be forgiven if done well. So like, I don't know, that's why I really like when like anime, because it gives you more hope, because like animated stuff, because like even Clone Wars after how many years came back and didn't miss a beat. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, was elite, like it's great stuff, and it's like, that's why I love animation, because it's just like, but it's weird because then you have Young Justice who does 5-year gaps for no reason, and it's like, wait, that feels like something you would do only if you were like a live action show, and it's been 5 real years, so you had to explain why all these kids are basically adults now.
But not even, because season 1 came out in 2010, season 2 was 2012, I think.
I know.
Or it was like
that's
it was
what
like
I'm
the next
saying.
year. Like they didn't need to be one.
That's what
5, it
I'm
could have been 2 years.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was so like, why would they do that?
Especially since 2 years would have been like plenty of time for Robin to become Nightwing, I think. Like 15 may be a little young, but like you could make it
Yeah,
work.
honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, he didn't really need to be Nightwing. I
I
feel
mean,
like I think it helped, but it wasn't like I feel like just older Robin would have been fine. Because to be honest, I mean, I feel like 5 years is a lot to assume. Robin has already gone to Nightwing, and we've had another Robin been killed, and now we're already on third Robin. And
I mean, even in the
that's-
comic, Jason Todd wasn't Robin for a long time. It was only
I think it
like a couple of years real time anyway.
I don't think it was like, but it's and like anyway, and there's gaps too because it's like
Mm.
he picked up like Jason Todd was Robin Base. I think got fired, which Dick Grayson is like,
Yeah.
bro, what the heck? But then it's like, yeah, it's a while, and then Jason dies, and then there's a while where Batman is like, doing his own thing, very broody, very wild, and then Tim Drake shows up, and then Tim Drake trains for a year, and then he becomes Robin. So like, that's a while, and like I know 5 years, but I'm kind of like, I feel like that could have been like I feel like 5 years wouldn't have been long enough for all that personally.
I think you can make it work if you. I think the show does a decent job where, like, the show basically tells you Tim Drake is like he just became Robin.
That's true.
Nightwing is like very protective of him in the first couple of episodes. He doesn't want to put him on any like dangerous missions. It's like
I just love that
like,
where he's like, just don't die, okay? He just like,
yeah.
Oh, and I was like, oh, come on, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it takes a second because you're like, oh, he's just a young rock. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, yeah, but I don't know. And like, but yeah, that's kind of like animation. It's like you're so much free to kind of just pick up right where you started. So it's like, why not just go get Spectacular Spider-Man? The voice actors are probably still out there for the most part. Just like, why not? Especially with voice acting, it's so, and again, you don't have to, it's not like movies. You don't have to get everybody to be on set, be on location at the same time, and get everyone COVID tested. You literally just like, hey, can you say these lines in a convincing tone on your own time and just, email them to me or whatever? Yeah, sure. And then just get them all in, throw them together, mix it, put on the animation, get all the, and then boom. And it's like, but I don't know. God, obviously I've never made a cartoon, but you know what I mean? Like making an animated cartoon is, I assume, much easier than getting live action stuff done. So, and probably extremely less expensive.
Yeah. So like I'm sure Spider-Man freshman year will be like what the fans want, origin for this Spider-Man. But yeah, like that the X-Men coming back not only is exciting for X-Men fans, not only exciting just for new X-Men stuff, is also indicative of hopefully future revivals of the sort. So we'll see on that. Rounding out Marvel animation stuff, What If Season 2 was reconfirmed, so that's cool. And then Marvel live action stuff, they also like fully confirmed Agatha House of Harkness coming next year.
More Captain Han, cool.
Yeah, like it wasn't next year. It's coming, down the line. Like, the best. At least the most memorable character from WandaVision.
Yeah.
And Catherine Hahn is fantastic. Like I want more, and they giving us more.
There it is.
We also got an announcement of Marvel Zombies, an animated show. So yeah, that one episode of What If Season 1 was like a backdoor pilot for Marvel Zombies. That's cool.
which is kind of wild though, because it's like the end of the episode is kind of looking rough for the hero. So it's like
Yeah.
it's literally just, I mean, it's literally Spider-Man, Black Panther on one leg, and
Ant-Man?
Paul Rudd's
Ant-Man's
head. No,
head?
no, not Ant-Man. Ant-Man's head in a jar with the cloak of levitation for some reason.
Yeah.
Like that is
Um,
literally how
that's
he
pretty
even
much it.
has just a head. I still don't understand, but whatever. He's got like he's like a minion thing going on. Like I don't even know how that's even.
Yeah.
I don't. And like
I don't
yeah,
know.
and they're on their way. Don't worry, Wakanda's safe. And zombie Thanos
Because
with
why not?
like almost all the stones. So like
Yeah,
like is there hope?
I
Maybe?
assume that Marvel Zombies isn't necessarily going to pick up right where that episode left off. I think it's just going to be like that episode was a proof of concept for the idea, and
Okay.
then they'll like fully do like an expanded world of Marvel Zombies stuff, like not necessarily connected to the MCU. I think it's just going to be its own thing, maybe, but we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah. We got a first look at She-Hulk. So, you know, I'm sure it's gonna be good. You know, yeah. We didn't really get a good look at She-Hulk herself. We got like her legs, and
Yeah.
then, but I don't know why they're saving the
got
reveal
bigger.
of the main character, but whatever. We also got like further confirmation that Mark Ruffalo will just be Mark Ruffalo, but at least part of the time in that. Like he was
Yeah.
Smart Hulk for some of the trailer and then not for another part of the trailer. We'll see how that happened.
Yeah. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it'll happen during the show, and then like it's like, wow, okay, now we're here now, and then that's like, oh, this is actually before Shang-Chi or something,
Yes.
or like who knows?
Maybe it's a thing, or like because I know I think in the comics, I can't even remember the character's name. Whatever, She-Hulk, the person, she had like some kind of disease or something, and because her and Bruce Banner are cousins, he's like a viable blood transfusion donor. So like it's either an organ or like blood transfusion donor. So when he donates that, she then becomes part Hulk.
Wait. Someone was like, yeah, Hulk gives this person a blood transfer. Like, you didn't think that was a bad idea at the time?
Yep, that happens.
Wait a minute. Like, that's no. Like, that doesn't. Like, one, I don't know how that works. I mean, I guess that works, but I'm like that. One, that doesn't feel like that would work at all. But also, like, that's a terrible. I mean, I guess if it's like either the person dies, but I'm like, I feel like there's other options here. It's a terrible idea.
But like maybe when he does the blood transfusion, it like allows somehow allows him to go to revert back and forth again. Maybe, I don't know. Sure they'll figure it out.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be something good.
Yep. Also, first look at Moon Knight. We didn't really get a good look, but we got at least
we got a hand.
We got a hand. We got like a kind of far away shot of him crouching down. The suit is white. It looks, generally like the comic does. That's good. I mean, Oscar Isaac is gonna kill it like he always does. So.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Seems
yep.
It's actually gonna have a character arc for once.
Yeah. Yeah, he almost did in Rise of Skywalker, kind of.
Yeah, almost. And then they changed at the last minute, and then X-Men Apocalypse also happened.
Yeah.
And then,
he died and he was in Dune, but then died halfway through. So,
well, that's the thing. And I was like, oh, they killed him off. And I was like, well, I guess he has to save time for Moon Knight.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, I guess that does kind of make sense. But yeah, the spoilers for Dune. But yeah, pretty much everyone died. Everyone.
Not Josh Brolin. I don't think Josh Brolin did.
Did he?
I don't think so.
I mean, I guess they didn't show. I guess I assume, I don't know. But
I assumed it would be the thing like they don't show him, and then when he shows up in Dune 2, it's like a big deal.
right. That's kind of the vibe I got for Jason Momoa too. Because it was like they
He,
seal the door and you just it's like, oh, he's dead, but also prop.
I mean, he got stabbed a lot and then rose back up and then got shot again after the
Yeah,
door closed. Like I feel like
I
he's
know. And like he should be dead. But then watch him like you remember, this is the future. So like I think. So like watch him
sure.
be like yeah, that's why I did quote because I'm like they're doing
Mm.
the Star Wars thing where it's like it's bigger than it's more advanced than here, but I don't know what the heck's going on. But yeah, it's like
Mm.
so maybe he comes back like half robot or something. Who knows?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Which would still be Jason Momoa would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
anyway.
I think both She-Hulk and Moon Knight are confirmed for next year, with Miss Marvel being delayed to Q4 of next year, so probably November, which is fine because the Marvels got delayed to next February. So
It works.
I think everything is still generally on track to sync up with their movie that they're going to tie into. We got moving over to just like general Disney stuff. We got the first trailer for Baymax. He's cute. Big Hero 6, I feel, is a movie that like I hear a lot of people like adore, but I think it's okay.
You
I
don't
don't
like
know.
it
I
that
don't really
much?
get. It's fine, but like I don't know. I don't like. I feel if you don't love the idea of Baymax taking 30 seconds to do something cute, like multiple times in the span of half an hour, like it just that was like most of that movie of like I don't know. It just didn't grab me, and like I think this whole show is just going to be a lot of that.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
So I don't know if it'll be for me.
And that's fair. And I mean, that's on it. Because again, this show is literally, I mean, even in the trailer you saw it, it was just like, okay, this is going to be, you know immediately if you're going to like this or not. Because it's like, if you didn't, like you said, if you don't like the Baymax ones where he's just doing the same like, all the
Yeah.
time, then it's like, you're not going to be a fan. But
Mm.
I mean, as far as the movie, I thought the movie was pretty good, and I surprisingly got a little emotional at the end. But I mean, it's a kids movie, but I mean, still. But yeah, I mean, I think the show will be okay. But I feel like this is one of those shows where I feel like they should just make another movie instead. Like the show doesn't really feel needed.
I think there was a show on Disney XD that was like
Yeah,
one season, then stopped.
yeah, but like I feel like that should have been the lesson. Like, just make
Yeah.
another movie or don't mess with
Yeah, I
it.
kind of agree.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
Oh, there actually was one more Marvel thing that I skipped over when reading this. We got reconfirmation of a rumor that Echo is getting her own show, who is a character who is in the comics closely tied with Daredevil, who will apparently show up first in a Hawkeye.
Ooh.
So I think she's deaf or something. And I think she's Kingpin's daughter or niece, like somehow connected to Kingpin, which is why a lot of people predict that Kingpin will show up in Hawkeye.
Ooh.
So
Sounds awesome.
yeah, gives you if you aren't sold on Hawkeye yet, here's another reason.
Okay, a lot of people I have talked to who are fans of Marvel stuff do not want to see Hawkeye, and I'm just like, but it's something.
I'm watching it for Haley Steinfeld. I don't care about Jeremy Renner at this point.
Hey! Jeremy Renner is an OG Avenger, first of all, and also like, come on, like it's Hawkeye. Like, yes, it's like, yes, does it look a little like, oh boy, and no, it doesn't grab you like some of the other shows have, but also it's a Christmas theme, so like it.
Coming out before Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, because Christmas never gets talked about before Thanksgiving.
It shouldn't.
No,
in
it
my
shouldn't.
opinion.
But people are over here in October putting up Christmas lights. I'm like, it's not even Halloween. How dare you? But here we are. No, but I mean, yeah, I mean, no, I don't think Hawkeye's really grabbing anyone. Like, I have to see this, but like, I don't know.
I'm going to.
I'm semi excited.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
more
going to
content,
see it, but
and
yeah,
also by the time it's over, it'll be time to watch, Spider-Man and Book of Boba Fett. So like, it's a good
yeah,
ride the wave until it's time for the next thing.
yeah. Literally, like the week after Hawkeye ends will be the first episode of Book of Boba. So yeah, and
Yeah.
then Echo is coming some point down the line, which again, hopefully that's some kind of indication that Daredevil is at least in the cards, especially if he shows up in No Way Home, like is the rumor. So see.
This movie has the most hype since Infinity War, and even then it might have a
Yeah.
little more. Like,
Mm,
this is insane. I'm so excited.
yeah. They also announced a Cars show thing called Cars on the Road with Owen Wilson and Larry the Cable Guy coming back to do their characters.
Let it
So
go. Let it
I don't.
go.
I agree.
Oh no.
I actually
You
had a very
know,
funny conversation with a coworker. Oh, sorry. You were
no.
say what
Go
you
ahead.
no
No.
say what you're gonna say first. You're probably more relevant. Go.
I mean, no, I was literally gonna say they're just trying to like it's been long enough generation.
Mm.
But honestly, but no, go ahead.
So I actually had a very interesting conversation with the coworker who also doesn't really love the Cars movies, but like we essentially broke it down where we're like, the Cars trilogy theoretically could have actually been a very solid trilogy if Cars 2 had actually focused on the racing part as opposed to being a weird spy thriller. Because, the first movie is all about him being up and coming, cocky rookie who's like gunning towards his first win. He doesn't actually win, but that's okay. But then like when the next movie starts, he already has I think 3 Piston Cups on his belt, and like now that he's like he's in like kind of his like heyday, he's like like a like he's good enough to race internationally, like against people from all around the world. And like you can even still kind of do the whole, oh yeah, other people from other countries are still like, I guess like their version of juicing, and he kind of has to like still outperform though, even though they're like basically cheating. He can still out the guy for cheating or whatever. But like I think, and have Mater just like do random stuff in each country. That could at least be a funny subplot of him just goofing off. I never once cared about the Mater spy plot. It didn't make any sense. It was ridiculous.
No.
But if it was just him, like that one scene where he's in Japan, he like eats the wasabi and then goes to the bathroom. Like if it was just little, 3-minute segments like that in every single country he goes to, that could have been something. And then you have Cars 3 where he, is like he's getting overtaken by these up and coming newcomers, these like literally people that are built better than him that he just can't outperform. He has to kind of pass the torch on to the next generation. That's a very solid trilogy of Cars movies. Because Cars 2 is so bad, so just missing the point completely of what Cars should be, it just ruins the entire franchise.
Yeah. Because it's just like it has no focus at all. It's like, what are we doing here? You kind of forget it's a Cars movie. You're just like, what are we supposed to be about? But and honestly, it's why I feel like it's done. Like, I feel like Cars is one of those movies that I think the concept is actually more interesting than the characters are. And because of that, I feel like it gets old a lot faster.
Yeah.
Because after 3 of these, they're cars instead of people, their eyes are windshields, etc. But it's not as interesting anymore because we don't really care about the characters as much, especially some characters have gotten annoying. So
Yep.
it's kind of like let it go.
Yeah,
But
I don't even know what all this show will be about. Is it just Lightning and Mater just on a
probably.
road trip, just goof? Like I don't know if I want that.
Oh,
I don't know, but it's coming out, I think 2022 or 3, but like, I heard that Monsters at Work is like decent, at least. I'm not gonna watch it, but I heard it's at least decent. So
something, I guess.
yeah. There was no new Star Wars stuff announced at this event. Like they obviously reconfirmed Bad Batch season 2. They you know re, uh, they had a new trailer of sorts for Obi-Wan. Like it was like a sideshow of concept
Yeah,
art,
with
which was
some
cool.
interesting stuff though.
Yeah, showing you McGregor training. Like it was a really cool dive into that, but no new trailer for the Acolyte. Nothing nothing. I think there's a an animated droids story with R2 and with 3PO doing stuff. Like there's a lot of Star Wars content announced that is coming, down the line. Nothing from Andor was even like mentioned. Just it was weird that that all of these all of these like this day dedicated to Disney Plus stuff, and Star Wars was barely mentioned. It was a little odd.
I guess they're just. I mean, maybe they're waiting to do their. Kind of how like certain things they kind of wait to do their own Star Wars Day thing. I don't know, maybe, but
Maybe.
like things are coming. That's all. They're just kind of. I guess they're just trying to like checkpoints. Like, hey, don't worry, this is still on the way. We don't really have anything yet because like anything we do show you could spoil everything, or just we don't want to show you anything because we don't have anything. So,
I hope
etc.
they have stuff like.
Well, they're done filming Kenobi, aren't they? They should
Yes,
have.
yes. Kenobi did finish filming. Uh, Mandalorian season 3 is filming now, I think. So like stuff is coming next year. I'm not worried necessarily,
It's just
but
like, oh,
yeah, I'm happy we got all this Marvel stuff. Some of the other Disney stuff looks at least somewhat interesting, but
yeah,
I like Star Wars, so I want more
yeah.
Star
I
Wars.
mean, I believe me, I'm with you, man. But at the same time, I patience, I guess.
Yeah,
But
whatever.
but one thing that like a little under the radar, but something I wanted to kind of point out though, there's like a Princess and the Frog series or something supposedly.
Yes,
Yeah,
Tiana, I think is yeah.
yeah. Okay, the only reason I'm not a huge Princess and the Frog fan, but like we've had nothing since the movie came out. Like it
Mm-hmm.
completely had, and then we haven't heard anything. So this was
Yep.
something for me because I was just like, oh, they're still doing this. Okay, we did it. We can, the black community can stop, and now we can just do that. And it's like, bro, like that was still a pretty good movie. Like we can work off that. Like I'm not saying we have
Yeah,
to make
like
3 of them, but like you could do something with that. So they're glad they're revisiting that at least
they
somewhat.
reworked Splash Mountain into a Princess and the Frog style attraction.
Oh yeah, I
So
was totally there over the last 2.5 years. Right.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
kind of like I feel like they could have, especially with like how many other Disney movies they've been cranking out, and like especially princess movies they've been cranking out like every other year. It feels like
Mhm.
it's kind of just like not that I don't like a like Raya and the Last Dragon or another Frozen or all this stuff, but it's kind of like you could make another Princess and the Frog, I'm sure. Like, especially
Mhm.
like, I don't know, I feel like the music aspect of it could be continued on again. But again, I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. It did kind of end on a pretty, solid point. Villain
Yeah.
basically died, or worse probably. But
You got sucked into a different dimension.
yeah,
Like,
with like I guess voodoo demons, which sounds terrifying. So yeah, that
yeah, a little bit.
sucks to be him. But there's
Um,
always, you know, money's all, there's also other stuff.
mhm.
But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I don't know, I thought that was relevant. And I'm like, oh yeah, something's yeah. And also Andy Samberg and John Mulaney are doing Chip and Dale, which is like,
Sure are. Rescue
oh
Rangers.
man.
Uh-huh. Why
That
not?
sounds either amazing or terrible. And I kind of want it to be amazing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's like Andy Samberg and John Mulaney just like that's that just sounds funny,
That's a
but
good
like
duo. That's a
that
very
is a good
duo.
duo. That is a good duo because they're both the same kind of funny, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like, so I feel like that's really gonna work really well, but we'll see.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a couple other things here and there that were announced, like uh, a a new the Spiderwick Chronicles show is in the works, which is a franchise I've barely thought about since that movie came out in
Oh,
2006. It was a book series that I think me and my brother read back in the day, but I remember nothing from it. I watched the movie
no.
in theaters. I remember nothing from it.
I have definitely read at least one of those, and I can't even think of a single character in it.
No,
Like,
all I know is that the kid from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was in that, was like the main character of that movie, and nothing else.
dude, that's a deep memory. I'm trying to like
Yeah.
research. See, I'm not gonna remember, but like in like 2 hours, I'll be like, oh yeah. But like that's a deep one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of random remakes kind of coming out of nowhere and reboots and stuff. Like
Yeah.
Ice Age making a comeback of all things. Cheaper
Yeah.
by the dozen reboots. What?
Proud Family. Cool.
Yeah, that's right. Now that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like again, out of nowhere. Proud Family. We back. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, like this,
Yeah.
there was some random stuff like Proud Family. That's right, Louder and Prouder. I think that's a great name, first of all.
Mm,
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Yes.
Like it definitely, like, it got the point across where it's like, if you somehow don't have Disney Plus yet, something announced today will get you on. Like, if it's not X-Men, then it's Moon Knight. If it's not Moon Knight, then it's more uh what's it called? I think
Chill.
Baymax is from.
Big
Well,
Hero
I
6.
just said it. Yeah, Big Hero 6. I know there's 6 in there. Yeah, Big Hero 6. If it's, you watched Proud Family back in the day, here's more Proud Family. Like,
Yeah. If you're like not like us and actually remember what Spider Chronicles was like,
I'm gonna watch that show because I am very interested if the show brings back any memories, and also because recently Disney Plus had a show called Mysterious Benedict Society, which is also based on a book series my brother read, and like it's a very solid show. I didn't even read the book, but the show was very good, I thought. So like if it's made even by the same like department of people, I think that Spider-Man Chronicles has potential to be also pretty good. So yeah. Moving on with other just general Disney stuff. Apparently, Spider-Man No Way Home will be releasing in the UK 2 days early on December 15th. Yeah, we talked last week about how randomly stuff releases on Wednesdays. Don't know why, but this is it.
Yeah. Because like we said, it's like, okay, if Friday's the release date, then okay, 24-hour backtrack to Australia, whatever, I'll give you that. I'll give you Thursday. Nobody should watch this movie on Wednesday. I don't 24 hours, that doesn't work. Like, I don't
And
care
here's
where
the thing:
you are.
is it going to be a thing where it's like its official release date is December 15th? Does that mean that it's like midnight basically like Tuesday night, or will it be Wednesday night? If it's Tuesday, if I have to keep my phone off for 4 days,
Probably. I am so worried too. That's the thing. Like, cause like this movie has so much like, and I'm like, okay, that's like no, so new tab is a spoiler potentially. Like, you know what I mean? I can't even I can't even because you'll just open a new tab. Unbelievable leaks of no.
Yep.
They did this, they did that. Oh my gosh, Tobey Maguire did this. No, like I am so petrified of this movie being spoiled. Like I have never wanted to go into a movie more blind in my life.
Yes.
Like I honestly might just delete like all the apps, honestly. I think I will. I think I'll just no, it's not worth it. I'll just do it like the Monday before and then make sure I have tickets on like Friday.
Yeah.
And just like but it is what it is. And like at the end of the day, like it's gonna be amazing. It's just like just gotta do what you can to like as I heavily. I've been pretty good about avoiding spoilers lately, so I haven't had anything spoiled in a couple of years, so that's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I heard a rumor where I don't know if this is true, but I think the runtime got like secretly leaked. Do we know about that at all?
We know the runtime, I believe, is 2 hours and 37 minutes or something like that.
Something like that. It was like 2:30 something, which I'm like, yeah, this one's gonna be a lot's gonna be going on, so that makes sense. But yeah, I'm so excited, but I'm so worried.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think a new trailer was announced for tomorrow as of recording. Was that Tuesday the 16th? So we'll see if they actually put other Spider people in that trailer. I personally don't want them to, just because I want something for the movie to actually have. But
yeah, because I feel like if they put that, then that's the biggest thing. Like, because then it's like, okay, we kind of confirm we're doing Spider-Verse, but like not really, because we only have the villains. But also, at this point, I feel like we would have known because it's like, okay, like, why would you bring back all the villains and not be like, hey, Toby, you busy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so,
I think we're gonna see Willem Dafoe and Electro. I think we're gonna see them in this trailer fully. But I personally don't think we'll actually like see the other Spider-Man.
Do you think there's a possibility we see like Venom or something
in the trailer? No, I mean I don't even think he's gonna be in the movie.
Probably not. No. I mean, I don't know. Ever since that like after credits scene, which again I did not see because I was like, oh no, there's no way anything's connected. It's totally not going to be. And now it's like, oh yeah, I can just teleport up to other dimensions apparently.
Sure.
Which is definitely not a thing, but all right. But anyway.
Like he might be in the after credit scene of this movie, but I don't. It's not. He won't be a major villain.
No, probably no. I doubt it. But so excited. But yeah, trailer potentially drops tomorrow. That's very exciting because I want to see that. And yeah, oh man, it's probably gonna hit like 100 million views in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, like. Yeah, I need the movie now. Like it is, like you said, probably the most anticipated movie, at least since Endgame, if not even more anticipated.
I don't know. Like I remember how excited I was for Infinity War, but honestly, I think I'm more hyped for this. I don't know. Okay, well, no. Well, yeah, probably.
I don't know. I like Spider-Man quite a bit.
That's what I'm saying. I like Spider-Man, and it's like all the Spider-Man. Because it already has Willem Dafoe Green Goblin, which is already astronomical win, in my
Yes.
opinion. So it's like
I still personally feel like the MCU can and should just introduce their own Green Goblin at some point. Like, I personally think it'd be fun if if they go the road where, you know, Peter Parker graduates and goes to college, and then Harry Osborn is his roommate.
that actually is a great idea. Yeah, that would work out.
Yeah, and then, you know, we get Green
And
Goblin
then
stuff
it's
from
like,
there.
oh yeah, have you met my dad? And it's like,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Um,
And it's also Willem Dafoe. That would be amazing. That would actually be the greatest thing. Like, his dad's Willem Dafoe. I'd be like, oh, he did the thing. He did the thing. Again, still, the J.K. Simmons thing was still the greatest thing ever.
Yes.
Like,
yes, it was.
You're like, no, they couldn't. They did. They did. They did it for the memes. Oh, great. So happy. But
Yep.
what a time. What a time to be alive.
Yes. So yeah, that new trailer is coming out tomorrow. Another thing, not Disney related, but another thing that is, I think, dropping tomorrow is the nominations for the Game Awards are going to be tomorrow. So I'm just gonna, you know, I'm curious to see how they're gonna mess it up this time, because every single year there's like some controversial choice that's like, it's like a weird amount of like praise at the Game Awards, even though the people voting don't seem to agree yet. They're the ones who theoretically should.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's just, there's always like that one game that like everyone is like, that shouldn't win, yet usually wins a lot of stuff.
Yeah. It's like the game that wins like best music, best this. And it's like, no.
Best art direction is just like some realistic looking games like that. I feel like that should have gotten something else.
Right. Okay. Like, I feel like there are games specifically made for those awards that don't win them, and it's like, bro.
like, you know, not to downplay the music in Red Dead, but like, you know, I feel like Dragon Quest 11 probably should have won that category or whatever. It's fine.
Like, yeah, they got, you know, like, oh yeah, it just sweeps the board with every category. And it's just like, wow, Call of Duty. I'm like, really? Like, Call of Duty should not win any award for anything.
Not this year, especially. No.
No, like, oh my gosh. But it's the name brand, man. Like, oh, this is the best game, so it just gets all the awards automatically, right? No, how awards work.
No,
or at least
highest selling does not mean best by a long shot.
Don't I know it? But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah, I know at least last year, the Game Awards had a thing where you could vote on each category. It was either once a day or once per week. And then actually, yeah, it would have been once per day. And then there'll be Game Awards themselves will be on December 6th, I believe. Somewhere around then, somewhere early December. So yeah, probably next week. Gonna go over those on a stream here. So yeah, a lot to look forward to next week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a new Pokemon game also comes out this Friday, which is also cool. A new old game that, like, I think had way more potential than this game is actually giving us. But you know what? I'm still gonna play it, so who cares?
Yep.
Like, yeah, it is what
Still
it is.
gonna buy it.
Yeah. Anything else you want to bring up or discuss before we sign off?
Excited. Next week's Thanksgiving out of nowhere, which is so wild. Like,
that's not next week.
Next Thursday. I know.
Yeah, it is. Oh, look at that.
Right?
Okay.
He said, look, man, would you look at that?
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, we're chugging right along, and that's fine with me, because with November ends, December begins, and December has all the content.
Yeah. So what you're saying is Hawkeye also premieres next week.
Yep, exactly. See, that was the headliner. I just wanted to sneak that in. I didn't want to disrespect Thanksgiving like that. Again, Hawkeye is gonna be at least good. Hawkeye already with
It's
no one's
gonna be
favorite
solid.
Avenger. Yeah, it's gonna be solid. Like, it's probably gonna. Is it gonna be closer to Falcon Winter Soldier than like Loki? Yes, but again, that's okay. It's basically a placeholder show to hold us until other content comes out.
Mhm.
Which is fine because at the same time, Young Justice is also still going. By then, Book of Boba Fett will be starting up. Spider-Man will have come out. Like, we'll
Mhm.
be fine. We're just
Yep.
it's just something that you want during it while Eternals is over. Like, we're fine.
Exactly. So yeah, exciting stuff coming up. And with that, we will see you all next time.
Take care, everyone.